All right, today I'm going to teach you how to understand AI search visibility audits that AI tools give you. They will all do one. Chat, Gemini, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Grok, they'll all do one. Understanding, taking advantage of, and using these reports is different than these tools giving them to you. So today I'm going to help you understand the report. I'm going to use as an example a report that we've been generating off our website. Hopefully at this point you're familiar with the fact that AI search and search in the past are different. AI wants the number one best answer for each question that's asked. So they're not looking for 10 bests, they're looking for one. And because of that, a lot of their questions, the way that this visibility looks, it confers very heavily. Like, what niche are you in? What exactly do you do? And a niche isn't, I serve all of Los Angeles County, not a niche. Because it's not logical, it's not possible unless you're a broker. If you're a broker, you can serve a county. If you're an agent, you can't. It's that simple. LLMs are tools of logic. They have a lot of very good logic baked in. Structured just means formatted. There are some things that this realtor did that were formatted correctly so that an AI tool can understand it. You are not speaking the language of ChatGPT or most of these tools. Very similar to technical jargon that used to go along with SEO, something I did for 16 years. It's actually very easy. Citation rich is also easy once you understand that a citation literally means a referral, a reference. And a reference has to be from someplace credible. Press is always credible in the eyes of search engines, in the eyes of these LLMs, which are the new search tools of this era. And those search tools are all going to leverage something that they consider to be authoritative. ChatGPT considers Reddit to be authoritative. They also consider Yelp to be authoritative. Google considers reviews to be authoritative on a Google My Business profile. Both tools consider Zillow to be a good citation source. So if you have a profile on Zillow and many reviews and some of them say good things about you, this would be a citation that this tool would look at. So that's what it means. Places we can find information about you that's favorable, that are popular in the real estate world. All right. Structured, citation rich, AI answerable authorities for senior real estate transitions across the DFW mid cities. All right. Scorecard. Now this is actually really high for an agent, but that's because this agent's been doing business for 30 plus years. So over the years, they have accidentally gotten into some really good authoritative places to get those citations. All right, basically that's this. That's where this entity and knowledge graph, all it's really saying is, hey, we want to understand who you are and what you do. That's the entity. It's no longer a world in which we live in keywords. AI is meant to cure that. It's meant to get us to natural language requests that the tool understands very similar to the way that you and I would understand the question. So when we ask about Bob Murphy, realtor in DFW, and we say, is he any good at his job? Somebody's going to say, it's been doing it for 20, 30 years. He sold my grandmother's house and that transaction went very well. I know a number of other people that have used him and they've all said good things about him. I want you to understand how closely that example just matched exactly what the LLMs are going to do, because that is exactly what the engineers building these products are aiming at. The same way that you're going to ask somebody about who's good to fix your car is how people ask about who is a good realtor to use. And that series of questions is exactly what AI focuses on. And the cool thing about some of these scorecards is they will tell you exactly how important it is. So what does 20% weight or 25% weight mean? What is that? One thing that AI is doing, which I absolutely love. So again, I have to reference the 16 years I've been doing SEO. And I got to tell you, it's been frustrating because there are 200 things that search engines look at when they measure the effectiveness and authority and usefulness of a page, or in other words, how they decide they're going to rank you in their index, which is otherwise known as a search engine. They look at it and they go, hey, these 200 things are all important, but there's really three things that are 60 to 70% of the score. Or in other words, three things are weighted much more heavily, and that's where this term comes from, weight. And AI is doing a tremendously good job at saying there's five things we pay attention to, and they're evenly weighted. Your who, what, why, when, where, your entity information is 25%. Your citation trust, that's just where and how are you being cited and how authoritative are those places, that's 20%. Answerability, this category right here is going to be the category that you hear guys like me talking to your professional realtors about. Like when you call search professionals, when they finally catch on, which most have not, okay, they're not even close. If anybody's talking to you about keywords, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. All right? Seriously. You don't want to talk to them. Answerability is we're moving into an era of answer engines. Not search engines, answer engines. We're not searching anymore. We want an answer. That's the difference. We're not searching. Okay, searching is you're going to open up all 10 pages and you're going to look around. That's searching. Answers is you open up one tool, it gives you an answer, you trust it, and you move on with your day. We're in the answer engine economy, like for search and for marketing and for how people find you as a realtor. So all of a sudden, it makes a lot of sense for you as a realtor to take 50 questions that people have been asking you for the entirety of your career and make sure that you have your specific answers on your website. An answer is like your response to tax rate, your response to can I buy this house with my 1031, whatever, my 401k, whatever it is. I know we had a big storm a couple years ago. Is there any water damage in the house? Okay, how do I test for water damage on the house if there was a big storm a couple years ago? Is it smart to buy a Malibu right now at this time? Who else is moving into Malibu right now at this time? These are all questions that might be asked. Your answers are what we want now on the website. We don't want to focus on a keyword. We don't want to do houses for sale or any of the things or Beverly Hills Realtor. There is some value in that now, but really for a different segment of search. So when you're looking at this, understand the weight, understand what it means. The last piece of weight is multimodal or multimodal is there are still signals. For a very long time now, Google, WordPress, all these environments have been treating images, video, stuff like that as signposts that kind of both make the content more appealing to people that have not engaged with it yet, as well as an opportunity for you to learn more. So multimodal means how many different ways are we making this content useful? Okay, it could be video, images, audio, so on and so forth. So if you add those things, it's 10% bonus. There's always been a bonus. This is not new. They've just put a label to it. All right. So you can see here, you can see what this report and how it interpreted what I just told you. Here, the AI crawlability says specifically, what did we pick up on? Now, you read this when you're reading the report, and if you see something that looks off here, you've got a big problem because your website, like this tool, which will, at this particular audit, will represent 2 of the top 4 AI tools. And if there's something wrong on here that they think seemingly picked up from your website, oh boy, you're in trouble. Verify you're not going to get ranking, and the ranking that you do get might be for things that you don't do or just complete imaginings of these LLMs. And that's, while it can create opportunity for you, it's nothing you'll appreciate in the moment. It'll cause a lot of confusion for most people. This highest lift fixes thing is really important, but it does get pretty technical. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people in my position tell all of you that with the advent of AI, you can just tell a tool to go in and fix your robot's text file, right? You can just take these recommendations and go have them fix your website. Well, that's true. But if you have a service company like ours that does a lot of this stuff for you, I'm telling you right now that AI breaks as much stuff as it fixes, and we charge people to fix it. If you used AI and it broke stuff and it does every single time, you're going to get charged extra money from us when you tell us that you tried to fix something using AI and then it broke other stuff. It's depends on what you're using and how you're using it, but it's not, there isn't one solid answer. My advice, weirdly, is in this case, is to let the professionals deal with it, unless you really just want to get in the weeds. But I leave that up to you. A lot of people are having a lot of fun playing with AI. All right. If you get a breakdown like this and it's talking about entity and knowledge graph, so this, you should read this and make your best guess at understanding it, because once you've read enough of these, what these tools mean by entity will become super clear to you. And I do think that being able to digest reports, that's why I decided to do this video. You don't need to do that much anymore as a realtor. AI will indeed do a lot of it for you. What it won't do, though, is you're going to spend a lot of time figuring out how to interpret these reports if you don't already know how to interpret them. So as a result, I say just get in here and learn how to read these reports. It's worth your time. Or keep following me. I'll be talking about this kind of thing and trying to help and educate and answer your questions as it relates to how do you execute on this. I'll be there helping you. This is the total entity statement. This is what they're recommending that you, they read the whole website, everything that's ever been published on every single site that they're able to access, and they picked up what is basically one paragraph. And that's what everybody really does need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, the days of you trying to explain yourself with 50 pages of content are done. They're done. You really do need to make sure that even if you have a number of different entities, like you want to be a Bedford realtor and you want to be a Somerville realtor, whatever it is, you must make sure that you summarize a lot of this at very siphoned or siloed sections of a web presence. Okay, I cannot emphasize that enough. And if you're in doubt, if you're not sure if you're doing it, if you're not sure if your web development company is doing it, or whoever you're partnered with, marketing company, they're probably not. Right now, I don't know of anybody doing anything correctly in AI search except FlyDragon and us. That's it. Okay, the rules have changed. They're permanently changed. And if you believe like I do, that everything is going towards AI search, that it's just a matter of months, probably, before you see complete and total transition. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal for you. And it already is, whether you know it or not. All right, Citation Trust, you can see here they're talking about the specifics, and they're giving you some high-lift fixes, which I think are pretty good. Ask satisfied clients to leave reviews. We talk about this all the time. I am on record in so many places. I'm not going to go over it again. Answerability, you can see what its sections were. It's basically said what I said at the top of the report. And then rewrite all the text, add image schema. It's a little technical. It's basically giving you ideas for interactive pieces of content on the site, which I think is brilliant. Brilliant. That is something that AI is changing, like operational, production-facing AI like Claude is changing overnight. Like it would have taken me weeks to produce a report that looks like this. We spent a few hours talking about it and going through it in Claude, and I didn't do much of it. Let me rephrase, I didn't do any of it. I have a really talented, my CMO did it, and it's brilliant. All right, now this part is very important, probably the part that all of you are most interested in. These are questions that come up that aren't happening. And every single one of you is going to have a report in your hands that says there are some things wrong. And you're going to be like, oh, holy cow. What does it mean? What is this? Do I need to fix this? Will my web developer fix this? So on and so forth. This is the number one issue, and it's a huge issue. I'll tell you something that I have learned years of SEO, the number one problem, if you want to know what the number one SEO problem is for every single realtor on every single website that is universal and has been for 16 straight years, and people don't realize it, the number one problem that you have is that when the little tools that companies like Google use cannot read your website. That's it. It's crawling. It's the most basic common function that every single person takes for granted. You assume that Google has superpowers. They don't. Okay? Their tools fail all the time for a wide variety of reasons. The amount of conversations that I've had about the fact that Google literally does not read every single font. There are certain fonts it will not read is staggering. Staggering. I've had that conversation hundreds of times. Nobody ever knows or understands that. Google will say it tries to read most, but it will give you an error rating, and it's not perfect. Okay? All right. Content footprint too narrow. So it's going to say that there's not enough markets. Now that's more easily fixed. Most companies like mine are very good at producing content. It should just be a matter of ordering some new pages, producing them yourself, however they got there on the site in the first place. You just do more. FAQ blocks is they're giving you some suggestions about improving your entity data above. I love that. This should not be the only problem that most of you are going to have is actually getting the formatting on the site. And it's a big problem because most of you own sites where this is not possible. Okay. The last I checked, while you could have the teams like at Luxury Presence, at Sierra Interactive, doesn't do this at all. If you do it, it's tricky. If you use WordPress, which we do, there's a plugin that's required. Every single tool, except for a couple of the cheapest ones, but highest volume, like Wix and Square, do not do this natively. And this is the kind of structured data that these search engines are looking for. They're looking for a little formatting that says that this is FAQ and formatting to go along with it, which is how they understand that it's FAQs. And that's why they're called blocks. Okay, there's formatting. So the answer to this is clear, but the formatting is going to be tricky. Here's one thing that I tell everybody, and this is a blatant sales pitch. Everybody that's watching this video, I'm sure that most of your salespeople by trade, almost all of you are. You know that we want that here at InboundREM, we're going to prefer that you use our AI tool. You know that. I'm convinced you know that, and you should. You should use it. We're hands down the most qualified people that you can talk to. There isn't even a close second. We've been doing search for realtors for 9 years under our own flag, and I personally have been doing it for some of the top realtors for 16 years. You cannot talk to anybody who knows more about this. And LLMs is just another search engine tool. They're just not called search engines. They're called large language models, but there's mechanisms inside there that do search. So it's really the same thing. The logic is different, but the idea of it is actually not. We're finding things differently right now. That's it. And it's better. It keeps improving. Everything's better. Speaking of everything being better, I think that we've got the best AI visibility report that I've seen, and certainly the best I've seen so far for real estate and realtors. So if you'd like this report, the one that we just spent all this time analyzing and deep diving into, if you'd like one of your own, if you'd like to see how you are being found in these AI, with these AI search tools, or are you being found at all? Well, then this report's going to tell you that information. It's at InboundREM.com. That's right. Go get a pen. Type in to your phone keyboard one more time. Inbound, the word INBOUNDREM.com /free, FREE dash AI dash audit, AUDIT /. Go to that website address. If you run the audit and get a response from both me and my marketing director, I would love to hear your thoughts. Did we do a good job? Did we do a bad job? Did you learn anything? Did you find it useful? Did you not? Anyway, thanks for staying tuned this long. And until next time, I've been Robert Newman.